Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mihaela Gruja. I make videos about motherhood, entrepreneurship. I have a playlist where I show you our garden transformation, a little bit of everything. In this video, I want to talk to you about toy shelves. Right now, I am sat next to the toy shelf that we got for our daughter a week ago, actually, and it has been amazing. How to organize your toys is a topic that I didn't think I'd spend too much time thinking about, but it does require just a little bit of consideration to make sure that it is a nice environment for your child to play in. I very much subscribe to the idea of having an orderly, kind of neat, tidy room where she can play, and I think having this kind of shelf ticks all the boxes. I'll tell you a little bit about what this shelf is, what's the point of it, why is it useful, how did we organize the toys, what's the principle around the toy rotation, what does that even mean, and then finally I'll share with you a little bit from our own experience of having set this up for a week, what we've noticed, why we like it so much. So without further ado, let's talk a little bit about why this shelf is helpful. I made a video before where I talked to you about our philosophy in terms of toys and the idea of not having too many toys at once. In that video I mentioned that I got inspiration from someone on YouTube called the Happa Family. They're an account that talk a lot about Montessori principles and pretty much Montessori in every aspect of their life. This toy shelf is no different because that's where I first saw this kind of setup and that's where I got inspiration about it. I didn't want to buy this from the very beginning. This room has gone through so many different iterations and things have been changing so much until now. She's going to be 1 year old in a week and we have decided on a more permanent setup in her room. At the moment it's not tidy because this is real life. This is what it actually looks like. It's not set up nicely now because she has just finished playing with it and the toys are not organized in a nice Instagrammy way. Why the shelf is so helpful is because it allows you to put one single activity in each of these blocks, and 8 is pretty much probably the maximum number of activities that you would want your child to play with at any given time. I'm not saying they can't have more, but the point is that it gives you a sort of number to work with in terms of how many toys to display. The other thing that's really helpful with this particular piece of furniture is that the height is absolutely perfect. This is the natural place where my daughter would always grab and want to stand up and pull herself up. She's not walking at the moment, but she's very much cruising, and this is the perfect height for her to be able to practice basically squats and pulling herself up on furniture. The other third aspect of why this shelf is really useful is because it allows the child to go and access the toys they want to play with when they want to play with them. Gives them that independence and that flexibility to be able to say, okay, I want to go to this particular block and I want to play with this particular yellow ball, and they can do that. You don't have to be the one having to pull the toy down. They can pretty much serve themselves. It's all about encouraging independence and encouraging their ability to choose what they want to play with. Where we got it from is IKEA. This is called Kallax, K-A-L-L-A-X. They do come in a single row or a double row. As you can see, this is the double row, and of course you could have place this vertically, but for the purposes of what we're working on right now, horizontal is the best way to go. And that's it. This is pretty much why this is helpful, and I'm going to tell you now a little bit about the toys that we have placed in here and sort of what's the concept of toy rotation. The concept of toy rotation is that, as I said, you have basically a maximum of 8 places or 8 spaces in this particular shelf. And the idea is that you would rotate the toys that you put in these shelves. There's a number of reasons why you do that. A, because you want to add kind of exciting new things for them to look at and to spark their interest and curiosity. The other thing is you probably don't want all of your toys out at the same time because it creates a bit of paralysis of choice where the child doesn't really know what to choose because there's just so many things for them to choose from. And so having them set up like this gives them some clarity, and it just helps them to focus on a particular activity or toy at one given time. I'm gonna take out everything out and then I'll show you what toys and activities we decided to put in these shelves at the moment. And she's just close to being 1 year old, and as I said, just had this for a week. I'm gonna set you up right here. Does that work? Perfect. So I'm gonna take everything out. It's pretty messy here on the floor. As you can see, I'm surrounded by all sorts, but it will all make sense in a second. First things first, if you want to make this easier for yourself, whenever it comes to arranging toys and just making sure they are as organized and as tidy as they can be, is to have various containers. So I have here a bunch of baskets that I either bought at various charity shops, traditional handcraft market type thing. I actually cannot remember where this is from. And these are really, really helpful to organize the materials and making sure that they're nice and tidy, and it helps with cleaning up. I have put a series of bowls, sensory bowls of different shapes and sizes. There's definitely a blue one here somewhere. Oh, there we go. Because this is a little bit lighter, I will make sure it is on one of the top shelves. She will just gravitate towards the balls if she wants to play with the balls, and then either start picking up the balls, or just what usually happens, she'll just take the whole basket and then throw it on the floor, and then we have to pick it up again, which is part of the fun, isn't it? In another shelf, she's got a basket of fruit, and this is one that we got from IKEA, I believe. A little basket of fruit, a banana and grapes and a little apple and an orange. Let's put it there. What else? In this bowl, I like to have things that are making sounds. So things like these maracas, this maraca, other wooden toys that she likes to play with. And then, oops, and then this is her pink dinosaur that also is a little rattle. So I have these organized in this bowl. And she usually likes to, because this is a little bit heavy, I like to put it on the bottom one. Can you see that there? I would put a few books, well, 2 books in this case. This is her first 100 Animals book, and then Everywhere Babies. She really likes this book. Cute book, so she'll have 2 books here. I have a series of blocks, and I bought these kind of fabric blocks. They're very, very fun, very light. I will organize all of the blocks here. And I think there's 6 of them organized like this. I will put her a box. I believe this is called an object permanence box. And the idea is that she'll put the ball in the hole and then open the drawer, pick up the ball, and then keep repeating this activity, which she really loves. I would usually put this here. We recently got her a stacking ring toy. She's not really gotten the hang of this. She just likes to play with. It's probably too many at once, to be perfectly honest with you. I'd probably just put 3, but for the purposes of this video, I'll just add all of them right there. And then finally, we have another basket, and in this basket, I like to put maybe some other wooden rings and toys. So we've got some wooden rings that she likes to play with. Miscellaneous items. This is a bracelet of mine that she likes to play with. I put that in there. This is a little hair bow, and then this is a little sensorial elephant, and I just like to put it there. This final basket here. This is what the shelf looks like now. It's so nice and tidy. It does usually last for about 2 seconds, and then she will immediately start grabbing all sorts of toys. How nice is this? It's such a nice way to organize the toys. So the idea of shelf rotation, toy rotation, is that you would at regular intervals kind of go through these toys and figure out whether you want to change them, replace them with different activities, and see what she's interested in, what she lost interest in. For example, that pink dinosaur, this one, she'd completely forgotten about this when we pulled it out a week ago, and now, you know, it's back in favor again. Alright, so now that you've seen me organize the toys and see how nice and tidy they all look, we've had this for just a week, and it has been so lovely to see her using it. A few things that I was expecting and a few things I wasn't expecting. So I was expecting her to pull up to the shelf and to obviously cruise left and right, which has been really lovely to see. So she's kind of taking her first steps on it, and she has that freedom to kind of move between blocks. But one thing which I have noticed, which is really lovely to see, is that she will move things from one block to the other. Another thing I saw the other day, which I thought was really cute, she took one of these fabric blocks from the floor and she put it in the shelf that had the other fabric blocks. I'm not sure if that was a coincidence or she's kind of starting to sort things by what she sees looks and feels the same, but she was doing that, and I just loved this movement that she was doing, you know, to move objects from one shelf to the other. It really helped with her balance and her coordination. We haven't yet involved her in that process of helping us tidy up or clean up. I think it's going to come with time, especially as she starts being more mobile. And overall, this has been such a good investment. I'll pop the links to the IKEA products below. It's such a good investment for the long term. I mean, this is going to be here for a long time. I will also put down other accounts that I follow. I'm also going to try and put on the screen now some other beautiful ways of organizing this particular shelf with other decorations on top. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it gives you some idea of how to organize the toys for your child, to realize that it doesn't have to be this huge messy task, toys everywhere. And I didn't have this when I was a kid, but I can very easily see that, you know, with the stuff that she has, if it wasn't organized like this, it would be a bit overwhelming. It's overwhelming for me too. All the toys and books she's not using at the moment, we store away in another cupboard, and we just, you know, always revisit that and make sure that we pull things out of there when appropriate. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and make sure to like and subscribe. We are so close to having 200 subscribers here. Thank you so much for subscribing and for being part of the journey. I know it's been a little bit quiet last week and I didn't upload, but I've got a lot of fun ideas happening for the next videos. Thanks for following along, and I'll see you next week. Bye.